Welcome everyone. Let me know when you have joined the live. Just let me know how you're doing, how your Sunday is going. Welcome everyone. Welcome into the space. Just going to give it a few moments, allow some of our wonderful soul family to jump on. It is 1:40 Sunday afternoon. Let me know how you're doing. How you're integrating these energies. What's been coming up for you as we get closer to the equinox. My name is Richard D. Chambers. All right, so I have been speaking with the 4 tribes of the Sierra Nevada mountain, the Weewa, the Arwako, and the Kogi, and the Kwankamo. Now, the Mamos are in deep preparation right now. They're preparing for the equinox. They are preparing for our call on September 20th. A live healing circle via Zoom. The equinox is a very special time of the year universally. So our equinoxes and solstices are a universal alignment that allows a calibration for the soul. So over those windows, as we are bridging seasons, there is a universal galactic planetary celestial alignment that unfolds. This one in particular is about fertility, it's about birthing, it's about healing, it's about awakening, it's about planting the seeds for the future. So in my conversation with the Mamos, they are very excited right now because there's going to be a deep healing for humanity and for the spirit of humanity, which is what we have been preparing for over the last few months as we have been leading these healing circles with these beautiful elders from the Sierra Nevada mountain. Why is this unique? This is unique because they have lived outside of the influences of religion, government, and society. They've been able to maintain their traditions without them being altered and changed, and they hold the sacred memory of humanity's origins, as well as what it means to live in a sacred way. They are the guardians of Mother Earth and the communicators for Mother Earth. And this is what they do just within their ancestral villages, which are on top of the Sierra Nevada mountain. I'm going there in November to spend some time with them. I'm a messenger for these tribes. We have connected on a very deep level, and this is part of what my role and my mission is, to support this wisdom getting out to humanity. 144 on the call. Now, so we have a call on Wednesday. Let's make this our biggest one yet. Whoever's meant to be there will be there. It's profound. This is like a medicine ceremony. Healing. You don't need to take any medicine, but just by showing up, you're going to go through the full medicine ceremonial healing experience. We have had profound things happen on these calls, from the reduction, of lumps in the breast, from, just healing of like deep anxiety, for all different kinds of things have occurred on these calls so far. I know myself, I've found them very profound as well. And although I'm there holding space, I also go through deep healing as well. So we're all healing our spirits right now, because the more our spirit is healed, we start to open and unlock the soul wisdom. So through the equinox, it's an opportunity to really reunite with the spirit and unlock and open the soul wisdom, or take those steps forward for that. Now, I had a conversation with one of my clients privately this week, and I was just really feeling into it. I feel this is something I want to share with each one of you, and I think you're going to get some gold out of this. Now, I was speaking with the elders, the Mamos, about just the various spiritual communities and how there's a lot of like dark versus light right now, and there's a lot of battling within the communities. There's a lot of whether it's grid working or whatever it may be, there's a lot of dark versus light battling within the communities. So I sat down with Kandi Maku and just said to him that now these communities that are in these deep galactic battles or earth battles of dark versus light, is this a representation of there being a level of inner conflict and wounding within oneself, which is why they're going through these experiences within those communities. So unless the wounded child or hurt parts of the self are addressed, then they will continue to have these polarity experiences in the dark versus light field. The response from the elder was, yeah, that's correct. If we are in the polarization of dark versus light and not understanding how the two actually support each other, then we are misunderstanding the actual spiritual order of the universal time matrix in creation. Hi, Katie. How are you? So with this, it's, going to bring up some things for some people, and I'm only sharing this so you have a point of reference for something to make you think about maybe what the experiences you are moving through. Because when we go into a dark versus light polarity to overturn the light, to really suppress it, or to bring all of this forward in a battling energy, we're operating within the polarity spectrum. And when we're operating within a polarity spectrum, we're actually creating, a karmic energy that follows that, which will be like a level of karmic drag. That could be healing, that could be clearing, that could be black magic. It could be all kinds of things that are being created through the polarization of dark versus light. So now within your own personal life, when you understand the dark is for organization. So the more we organize the dark, we experience more light. We experience more of ourselves. We experience more of our consciousness, more of our healing. And we go through these cycles of dark and light. Contraction, expansion, shadow, light. It's a natural ebb and flow of the universe, of creation, and of yourself. So instead of fighting the darkness, what we are to be doing is to be organizing the darkness, bringing order to the darkness. Because when you order your shadow or your subconscious or your wounds, your triggers, or your inner child, and you bring order and healing to that, now that allows more of the integration of the light, more of yourself is returning. So we understand that one doesn't exist without the other, and from the darkness, light is birthed. So that is like the universal creation of from darkness, the light comes. From the void, the light comes. From the shadow, light comes. So the more we organize and order the shadow or the subconscious, the more of ourselves we get to experience. Now, the elders speak about dream time, and this is something I've been practicing, dream healing as well, because in dream time, This is an opportunity to organize the subconscious. And when we organize from the darkness, the dream time from the darkness, or from that no time space, we bring order now into the rest of our reality. So that really occurs through those periods. So what we start to see and what we start to witness is how both of them support, and we stop playing within the polarity matrix or field. We understand how to order the shadow or how to order the darkness to bring in the light. And I think it's really beautiful. We tend to look at the polarization of things, whether it's the moon, whether it's the sun. Everything has positive and negative properties. So there are positive properties and there are negative properties to it. And if we're seeing just one and not the other, then we are in a polarization. And if we're so for that, then you're going to create the opposite of that as well. So it's important that we can bring balance and re-understand the way that universal creation is aligned for each one of us. Because in the deeper of this understanding, now you're starting to make big changes and shifts within the reality, within your personal self, the cosmos, the earth, everything, because it all comes down to our level of healing our spirit. There tends to be sometimes wearing grid work as like a badge of honor or a level of spiritual identity, like where we claim an identity from the grid working that we do, where that would show that it's coming from a level of polarization or not necessarily from the right space. So instead, what we want to do is we want to turn inwards and we want to reflect to where that level of separation, division, or disconnection within ourselves is looking for that level of attachment from that experience to then justify for something that may be feeling disconnected or missing or empty on the inside. And this is a big shift because there's no wrong experiences, right? There's people who are meant to be going through and experiencing the dark versus light battles right now. Does it mean it's the quickest way on your journey? No, it doesn't. So you can get caught up in the polarization of the experience for years and years and years. What is the quicker way for you to heal your spirit and to align to your highest path is the organization of your shadow. Hi, Tina. Hi, Elena. The more you're able to organize the shadow, organize the darkness, organize the contraction periods within your life, or the doubt cycles, or the growth periods, now the rest of that will just kind of ebb and flow together. So we're talking about when you have this like polarization, so you go really high, light, and you go really low, dark. Really high, really up, really down. And we start to go into this experience of the spiritual journey that's up, it's down, it's up, and it's down. And it's because you're going into the polarized experience. So we tend to look at the down as what the negative experience is and what the extreme is. But then, because we've been creating in this extreme down through polarity, now we're going to experience the extreme up. So this is also an imbalance when we reach the peak, right? Because it's like dark and light. So what we want to do is start to flow more than like this. So we're weaving in between the two, but we're not going incredibly high or incredibly low because those are actually imbalances. So we have to look at the imbalances on both sides of the spectrum and not just the bottom. This is kind of like an aha moment for us when we start to now realize when we're peaking, there's a level of energy conservation or bringing back into the center that needs to occur so we don't go down as low, and it's less of a polarizing experience. Now what we get into is when we come into the contraction or the dark periods, the shadow periods, the rebirthing, whatever name we want to call it, we start to go into how do we organize or bring order to this in a very streamlined way of organizing the subconscious patterns that are coming up. Now we start to go back up and we start to find this like weave in our life. Because if you want to get good at life, what you want to do is become great at organizing your doubt cycles, bringing the correct like healing or nurturing through the times of contraction. Because when you are contracting, you're making space. Things are coming up for processing, for healing, and you're making space within your life. So what that means is anytime there's a contraction period, you're about to actually go the rest of the way, like up. So the more you can organize what's coming through that growth period and heal or release it, now you actually start to go into a higher frequency bandwidth. And when you come up into that higher frequency bandwidth, now you're going to come down a bit to bring out whatever the trauma or whatever subconscious patterns have been now come to the surface as you've brought in more light. So we have to continue to organize the shadow. And the more we organize the shadow, we start to go like this. When we go, so this is the important part. When we fight the shadow, when we battle the shadow, and we go to war with the shadow, this is what happens. You start going like this because you're in the polarized experience. Now, when you understand to love and accept the shadow, because the shadow is what's helping bring order into your life. The Mamos and the elders speak about the order of darkness. And the order of darkness isn't saying bad. What it is understanding that birthing comes from the darkness. If you think about a baby and a baby's in a womb, the womb is dark. It's in the dark place while it's like nurturing, while it's getting ready, and it's going through this growth period. It's learning how its heart like beats. It's learning all of the senses, and it's in this deep growth period. So for many, that could be challenging. But what's happening is being prepared to be birthed into the light. And you are just like that. And these cycles are like that. So when you come into the darkness, the shadow, the subconscious, a growth period, a doubt cycle, your consciousness is trying to prepare and organize. So when you can bring order to the thoughts, the heart, the emotions, and not go into conflict with them, now you start to accelerate and you start to hit new higher levels of consciousness. So in the spiritual groups that are in the full dark versus light battles right now, take a look at them and see the polarization that's occurring in them. Just in an observation, not in a judgment or anything like that. But what you will see is a lot of people in crisis. You will see a lot of people that are in really, really lows, and you'll see at points where they're in very high highs because the conflict is creating the conflict with themselves, the shadow, or the externalization of that shadow is now creating those big dips and lows. And when you operate within the polarity spectrum, the law of polarity states if I create this on this side of the spectrum, simultaneously you're creating this. There's always a counterweight or a countermeasure to whatever you're creating. So when you're trying to fight the darkness or fight or conflict with it, you're also creating another energy, which is what karmic energy is. So it's a karmic backlash for not actually bringing order into it. That's a deep one for many of us to take really in. And I'm sharing this with you because I've been through this experience. I speak from my own experience of being in long time grid working projects and just dark versus light battles, and all of these things. I see completely through it now. Like, the more higher we're able to maintain and hold our frequency and bring that into the planet at the time, this time is what is actually needed. And we've spoken about this as like the Maharishi effect. So by holding the frequency is what actually is bringing the change to the planet. The ego is what is wanting to create the identity around its like mission or its like cause or its like spiritual identity. But the frequency, the love frequency, the frequency of your authenticity is what is shining the light through and creating the change around you and creating the acupressure points on the planet. Hi Sean, hi Lucy, hi Marcella, hi Marian. Good to see you all on here. So please share your comments if you have any. Someone said, I love the explanation. I hope you're understanding this, because this is something that has taken me a while to really master. And the better you get at organizing your darkness, or your shadow or your subconscious. So anytime you go through one of those, what I call growth periods. So when you go through a period where everything's coming up, there's going to be emotions, there's going to be triggers, there's going to be maybe racing thoughts, whatever it may be. You're going to question all of the reality around you. Is this real? What's happening? You go through these periods where the darkness really comes up. And a lot of us will go into complete conflict with that part of our life. We don't accept it. And when you don't, well, you don't have to accept it, but when you don't acknowledge it, you go into conflict with it and you start fighting yourself. Now, as you're fighting yourself through that, you're actually starting to create karmic energy. And that's going to create now clearing for you. It's going to create healing for you. And it's going to create all of these other things for you that maybe you didn't have to go through. But when you go into these periods and everything's coming up, and you realize that you're to bring order to this period, you're to organize, you're to support like yourself in it, you're to accept that part of you that is going through this growth period. Because if you think about a baby, when a baby's in the womb, if a baby was to be in conflict with the womb or to be in conflict with itself in that process of darkness, that baby won't be birthed out into the real world, or maybe there's going to be some issues or challenges there. So when these growth periods come up for you in your life, you're really like looking to like nurture, to support yourself through the darkness, and you're looking to understand that this is a natural part of your evolutionary cycle. You have darkness and you have light. The whole universe and the whole cosmos has this. Our planet has this. Now, because humanity, we are not in order with our thoughts, our words, and our actions, is creating this imbalance on the planet. And we're witnessing the imbalance in the energies on the planet from the disorganization of ourself, of our words, our thoughts, and our actions being out of order. Now, the elders speak about this, and I had a very deep conversation with them about the fires and all of the, yes, there's people, there's all different kinds of things why these fires have happened, but the general consensus is from the elders why fires happen on the planet. One, when, okay, so fire is a direct representation of the order of human consciousness. So when humanity is out of balance with their mind or their thoughts, more fires will increase on the planet. So think about that. And deep emotions too, like hate, like anger, these things fuel the fires. Fire is a divine energy. It's a divine regulator. It's a regulator between source and humanity, and and it's a regulator between the planet and humanity. So when these energies are out of balance, the way they get reorganized is through purification and transmutation, because fire is a divine energy. It's not, it was, the elders say it was brought here by a god. And because it was brought here with a god, humanity was actually never really taught how to use or how to work with fire, from this being that brought fire here. So with this, we've always had a little bit of an imbalance in trying to organize our thoughts in that. And this is the direct representation of what you're seeing. So fire, even though it can do harm and horrible things, it's a divine energy. So it also purifies, it also transmutes, it also restores order to the planet. So Mother Earth is going through this huge process on the planet right now. And this is like a darkness that's being like transmuted on the planet. Another part I loved what the mama shared with me on this. They said, think of a woman, and if a woman is water, women are water, and water is mother. So when a woman is mistreated or she's harmed and she's not taken care of in the right way, or she's abused, then she starts to heat up. She starts to steam, and eventually she boils and will erupt. And our planet is Mother Earth, or Gaia. She is a female, and we have not been treating the planet well. We have not been treating her well. So she's steaming and she's boiling, and her temperature is rising. So with this, the volcanoes are becoming active. Fires are breaking out. And whether it's to do with certain humans playing one side of that or not, they're all connected in this. It's all part of what we're seeing and what we're experiencing, and it's back to the same message that we have to bring order to the shadow and order to the darkness. We have to bring order to our subconscious, to bring order to our thoughts and our actions. And when we can bring order to our thoughts and actions, things start to come back into balance. So this is why they say the most important thing you can do is heal yourself to reunite with your spirit. Because when you are reuniting with your spirit, you're bringing order to the planet. That frequency and that vibration is also supporting the people around you. It's really important for all of us to take this deeply within us to go on that journey. Now, you are your own medicine. You are your own medicine. So when you remember you are your own medicine, you are your own healing, you are your own truth, you are your own love, you are your own source, you are all of this. You are nature. Your earth body is created from the earth, right? It's part of nature. Your soul is celestial. It's part of the cosmos. So you have source creation from the planetary level to the creational level within you. So when we now come back to remember that all of this is within us, so what is it that we're really searching for? You are searching for yourself. What are you seeking? You are seeking you. You're here to remember yourself, to seek yourself. Because when you rediscover who you are and that deep love you have for yourself and that sacred connection, now you start to understand the planet. Now you understand how you interact with her, what you are doing that may be harming her, what you can do to support her, how you can actually respect your mother. Because we're all mothers, or we're all brothers and sisters of the same Mother Earth. That's something that we all share. You and me, we're all brothers and sisters of the same earth. And how are we treating our mother? How many things are we going to take from her? Whether it's her gold, her minerals, her crystals, her resources. that is a sign of an imbalance within humanity. Because if we knew we did something and it was going to hurt Mother, you wouldn't do it unless there's an imbalance within yourself and you're not able to recognize the pain that you are causing to Mother Earth. So at this time, the Mamos have come forward, and I'm a messenger for them as well, to put these healing circles together that just help support each one of us with these deeper understandings of this wisdom. One, how do we heal and reunite with our spirit? Two, how do we all start to come together? And I've witnessed just magical things happening. One, the amount of people that it brings together, I haven't seen much like this yet. So in all of the spiritual groups and things that I've witnessed, they just bring people together from all different beliefs, from all different situations, come together to hear the Mamos speak, to be in these sacred ceremonial healing circles, and I witness unity unfolding in front of me. So there's a lot of people who may be sharing and speaking, but the actions are different than what the words are. And this is what I'm saying. We have to bring order to the word, order to the thought, and order to the action. So when there is an alignment between what is being said, what is being felt, and the actions that are taking place, this is what we are all looking to move into at this time. So when the Mamos speak, share, heal, the actions are unity, the actions are love, the actions are coming together and giving back to the planet while giving back to humanity at the same time. So we are raising money for the Temple of Dreams. The Temple of Dreams is it's a temple that's being built on an area of land that has been given back now after 20 years of trying to get the sacred land back on the mountain in Sierra Nevada, Colombia. They're building a temple to dream in that temple where humanity can go there and we unlock our soul wisdom. Because when the soul wisdom is unlocked, you don't do things to the planet that would be out of alignment. You don't do things to your fellow man or woman that would be out of alignment. Because you understand by hurting them, it hurts you. So far, we have really supported this, and we're also moving into some other land reclamation projects because there's been, different areas of the mountain, the Sierra Nevada, which is shaped like a pyramid. This is actually what the Mamos say is the heart of the Americas. And because the Americas have been able to hold it together is because they have been keeping the heart protected for all of us, for all of humanity and for Mother Earth. But there's been certain areas where there's been Canadian mining companies that have gone in and, started to drain the resources from here. So we are raising money as well to support this initiative with being able to buy back those areas and to reclaim that land so the heart of the Americas will always be kept safe. So this is the definition of a New Earth project, because when you show up, so you donate, you come for the live healing, you get healing. This then gets reciprocated back into Mother Earth. These areas are actually being built and restored to support humanity. So it just goes exponentially giving back. And it's very beautiful. Why do the elders and the Mamos need money or dinero to make these things happen? Because where they live on the top of the Sierra Nevada mountain, and it is fully sustainable. They grow their own food, they make their own clothes, they have everything they need up there. They have fresh water, so they live outside of the system. But what they say is, what they call little brother, so little brother, like other members of humanity, have created something called money, but they don't use money. They have no form of money for the way they live and operate in their communities. But little brother has created something called money, and then they have stolen their land from them. And now for them to get these sacred areas back of Mother Earth, the little brother is saying, if you pay us, we'll give it back to you. So they'd stolen it from them, and then with this thing called money that they created, they're saying they need it to get back. So the elders have said, okay, if that's what you would like, and you would like money for it, because Mother Earth is telling us these areas of land need to be returned, because it's throwing the balance of the planet off, and it's creating more natural disasters and stuff like that. So the elders have said, okay, we will bring money to you. We will bring this to you, and we will buy this back if that's what you're asking. So this is why, like, I'm also supporting them with this, because I understand how important it is. So it is really beautiful. I am also going to Colombia. We have a group going out there in November. We will be taking lots of pictures. We're going there to do awakening walks and hold ceremony, just to also spend time with the elders as well and the Mamos, just to see how they live and to experience that. That's going to be very sacred. I can't wait to dance with them and to sing and to hold sacred fire, as well as go to the Temple of Dreams that we've all been investing in and supporting that with being built. Yeah, so there's a lot that's happening right now, and if you want to support this, one, share this live. Two, share the event for the 20th, please, because this isn't just my message to share for humanity. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than each one of us. This is a global thing that's happening. So the more of us that can come together and rally together with this and help share and get this out there, whether it's like you speak to a friend about it, you speak to a relative about it, you share it in another group or community, that will be receptive, because we're not trying to do anything other than that except bring this message of love forward. The healing ceremonies are profound. I think on we've had so many different, there's so many different Mamos that have come forward. Some of them have been meditating in the cave for like 11 years and have come out to speak to us. We have had the women of the drum come forward, so the grandmothers, the women of the drum. We've had the Zaga weavers, so the elder grandmothers who weave creation through the sacred threads of life and through the sacred cotton. They were on our last call, and as they were doing this weaving process where they were stitching and weaving, one of the Mamos, Wakandi, said to us, "We are going to travel across the universe as we weave now." And in the moment, I'm watching them weave and I'm feeling the energy, but after the call, I was in the universe witnessing the threads that they were weaving, this tapestry. And I was seeing all of the weaves that they actually sew into their bags, their ceremonial bags. I was laying in bed that night, it felt like I was on plant medicine, although I didn't take any. And I was watching all of those patterns be weaved in this like celestial tapestry. And it brought a whole new understanding to the deep, profound level of work that they are doing. And I truly believe that the Mamos are the ones that have the wisdom to heal our planet. So if we're not listening to them, like, this is a time for us to listen. Really, for all of us to listen. And if we're not listening to them, then how are we going to save our planet? These are beautiful beings that are the direct guardians and representatives of Mother Earth. They are her communicators. So they don't do anything without meditating on it for 3 to 5 days and without checking with Mother Earth and the universe. So they've been speaking about how the universe has ordered change. So changes are coming, and they are holding these circles to support each one of us with coming into a level of embodiment before the changes come. Because the more of us that can hold this frequency will support the group field, will support the collective consciousness in all of our countries and everything while these changes come. Because they say it's inevitable, they are happening. It's been ordered by the universe. So there's going to be certain things starting in 2024 that are going to start to unfold. I'm feeling like this is a lot of information I've shared so far today. So I think to keep it digestible too, I will allow all of this to integrate with each one of you. I can feel the elders with us now as I'm speaking about all of this. I invite you all to Wednesday's call, September 20th, 8 p.m. via Zoom. It's standard donation is $44. Sliding scale is $10 and up. So let's get as many people as we can, because each donation, helps support the cause and everything we're working on, while you get to go through such a beautiful healing experience. If you've been on the calls before, please on this thread share about your experience. Let everybody know. It's so refreshing when other people get to hear from you what you went through on the call. I'm seeing many of you on here right now who have been on the calls with me as well. So I love you all so much. Please share this message for me. Let's help this grow, and let's give back to Mother Earth and to the Mamos for all this wonderful work that they are doing. They don't receive from this really. They're just doing this to support all of us as well. So I love you all. I hope you have the most wonderful Sunday. Do something that lights you up today. Find your truth, look within, and ask yourself, what is the message that you want to put out to humanity at this time? From my heart to yours. Aho, namaste, and blessed be.